We've got a fun one today. I've been trying to think of some stuff and go over we kind of made the ultimate system here, but now it's just to improve, kind of just buff out those rough edges. And one of the rough edges is DWM. Aesthetically, looking at it, doesn't look all that great. You got some numbers up here in this corner. The symbols for tiling, full screen can be a little rough. Eventually I want to make some user-friendly scripts for it so normal people can use this. This running the script in the background, obviously integrating like DWM-Blocks and those types of things to it. But the big thing I want to do that's different from anything I've seen so far is integrating it all into the binary DWM. Not having, hey, install this dependency and that dependency and all this other stuff. I want it to be, hey, just run one script, DW installs, and then everything is exactly how it should be. Because I think the biggest problem I see with Linux, and this is a pretty big problem here, I'm going to go full screen. The biggest problem I see, besides my green screen contrast being a little bit off here, my goodness, I'm going to look like a Oompa Loompa. Anyways, we're going to roll with it. Is when it comes to people coming to Linux, they try it, and then they have a bad experience because things just don't work quite the same way. Or, I'm missing this dependency and I run into an error. Or, oh, I have this happen and then they don't know how to fix it. So that's really the biggest thing about Linux that I really want to tackle in today is, one, start rolling on this DWM thing. I know enough about C to be dangerous, but with the advent and all the tools at our disposal in today's world, anyone can do this. Mostly anybody. But we're going to do it. And it's really just using a lot of AI tools to correct some of the C stuff we have. Now, I still understand you still have to have a brain there to say, okay, no, that's dumb AI computer, but there's still a lot of really good ideas we can steal from it. And that's what I love the most about it is I'm like, I kind of know what I want to do, and then I just kind of need a starting spot. And that's really what the AI bots give me is a starting spot. And then I'll be like, okay, yeah, that's dumb. That's really cool. That's really cool. Okay, I'm going to steal that and then make what I need. So that's kind of the thought. As far as Proxmox goes, EWO, here, let's pull up Chatterino and check in with our chat here. Proxmox, I really haven't done anything with, and I don't think I'm going to do a Proxmox setup anymore. After looking at it and kind of dealing with the stuff, I really just wanted to set up a system that I just would love to have and I'd love to be in. So, like, I showed a lot of my entire setup here and kind of revamping everything, and I really just wanted to be real comfortable. So like, let's say I don't want to stream and I just want to program, or I want to be in here and I want to read, if I want to come in here and play a video game, whatever it is, or make a video or do a live stream. I just want to be really comfortable in the spot. So everything I'm choosing isn't based on popular opinion. Everything I'm choosing is just what I like and what I have the most fun in. So there's going to be some pretty, things that people go, whoa, wait, why? That's why. I have fun doing it. And that's really what drives everything going forward. After taking a month off, I was just like, okay, I'm going to just stop that. Doing the crap that everyone wants to see, but I don't necessarily want to do. I'm just going to be like, nah. So Proxmox, while cool, and I'll definitely maybe set up a different headless system for it, which I already have. I wouldn't run it on my main box. It's just not something I would enjoy. So that's it. As far as the Windows utility and the one tool for everything, I'll probably do like the next stream on probably Thursday. We need to touch on that. I'm doing a really big refactor with the Windows utility, and the refactor is really removing like thousands of lines of code, cleaning things up, moving some dynamic elements into a static environment so it's not so taxing on computers, those types of things. So that's going to be Thursday's stream for sure. The bug in the 7800 XT, I believe, Lovro, is part of just Linux right now. It's just the 7800 XT runs like crap on every Linux install. you know, if you have it and you need all the performance from it, run Windows. I think is the solution here. It's just, you know, it is what it is. Eventually it's going to get patched. I still got to try out the new Linux kernel. We still could try like Xanmod and see what we get. I mean, heck, we could do that too. Yeah. But that's it. I mean, and I think, yeah, I know DWM's not sexy, but it works really, really well. Like, all you need is 3 dependencies, and then you just run the binary, and then everything's already set. All my config's there in my repo. So you can't screw it up. That's the great thing about DWM. It's just, it works. No matter what you're on, Debian, Arch, whatever, you just run that, and I know my config's going to be perfect every time. And damn, after going to KDE Plasma 6 and having that, like a lot of people have been asking, hey, where's KDE? Where's Plasma 6? I thought you installed it on that. I did, but it ran like a turd. and let me give some feedback in case like a KDE dev sees this stream. The using Wayland was terrible. There was a lot of flickering. A lot of times my capture card couldn't get it because of something about full screen applications, whether it was full screen capture, whether it was full screen video, just video game playing like I was doing Cyberpunk. It sucks. I'm sorry, it does. It's not a great experience for people right now using KDE Plasma 6 on Wayland, at least with my hardware configuration. Lots of bugs. And as soon as I switched to DWM, I was just like, look at that. Everything's fixed. Everything just works. And, you know, I don't want to be like Todd Howard up here, but it's true. Yeah. And, you know, maybe in the next 10 years, Wayland will be ready. Yeah. I know a lot of people want Wayland there. I want to see Wayland there. I have a lot of things set up for Wayland to do it. But every time I try it, I'm like, not there yet. Maybe this year. Maybe this year. Maybe next year. Maybe next decade. I don't know. Yeah. Would you recommend still using NV Clean Install, or the new NVIDIA app is better than GeForce? Yeah, someone commented on a video about that. I still recommend the NV Clean Install. The GeForce experience was atrocious. It spawned, I think, 13 or 14 processes. There was a lot of telemetry, which I'm sure they didn't remove. And usually like shadow play. You had the shield experience, which I think probably the new experience does cut down on a couple of those processes, but it still is bloated. NV Clean Install can be installed without telemetry, and it's a better experience. So, yeah, the new app is better than GeForce experience, but it still sucks. So that's the rub with NVIDIA. And I mean, that's not surprising. That's like installing Windows and expecting to be able to turn off telemetry. It's just not going to happen. Thanks for the Prime, Gaming. 9 months too, man. It's so much fun too. You know, that's the cool thing. I came back to YouTube and Twitch. I left both for like an entire month. It definitely, man, I didn't expect everybody from Twitch to just jump right back on. It was cool. YouTube's a little bit slow to pick up. It's a different game over there. So I really appreciate everybody. It's just much more tight knit over here, which I like. Yeah. I'm not gonna do any more of that as far as community run forums or chat. I just like, too much drama for me. It's much easier just to be like, hey, let's just monitor chat when it's live, and then, you know, if we want to hit up email afterwards, I'm good with that. I'm such a boomer in that regard. The bread, thanks for the tier 1. Yeah. So yeah, this is totally patched. This DWM has a lot of changes, which we can jump into it here. Let's see. Would you recommend Debian or Arch? Man, I recommend both, Lovero. I think it just depends on the person. That's the thing. It just depends on the person. Some people are Arch users, some people are Debian users, and it depends on your use case. I think after some soul searching, though, I don't want to say this out loud, but sure. I think I'm kind of an Arch user. I kind of lean towards Arch. I just have more fun on Arch. That's the whole reason. That's like my selling point, by the way. That's my selling point. I just have more fun. I can break more things. I can just do all kinds of shenanigans. I can download new packages pretty easily. That's my selling point for Arch. The selling point for Debian is it's not Arch, and it's not nearly as easy to break. So that's the selling point of Debian, and it just depends on what kind of user you are. You know? At the end of the day, after looking back through everything, as much as I kind of want to fight it and I still champion Debian, man, I still love breaking stuff. And there's no better distribution to break things than Arch. I think that's my tagline for Arch is there's just nothing, no distro's gonna let you break as much stuff as Arch. All right, let's see here. Okay, so this is what I've done. I've started making releases for DWM, so eventually this will be like more public, but I did some patches here so everybody can see. Let me just push this over so people can see what I'm doing. It always is going to put chat over here. I'm sorry, I'm just new to my green screen being in a different location, so my left and right I'm going to be pointing here for chat, and when I should be pointing here. But one cool thing is when I launch stuff, I kind of fixed a lot of the location tracking, and that's what I was kind of working on yesterday with DWM. So everything always launches in the bottom location, so new spawns will come over here, but Chatterino always gets left in the utmost bottom position, so it's always over to the right, which is nice. So if I ever need to know exactly where it's at, it's very easy to do. One thing I wanted to do here, let's pull up cursor. And if anybody in chat wants to, like, if there's something that like you're like, hey, I want to change this, let me know. Like if there's something in DWM you don't like, let me know, because that's what I want to do, is just kind of make this the perfect window manager. Like, we can change anything. If you can think it up, you can change it in DWM. It's just a matter of updating the C code, which C code's not that bad. After messing around in this a little bit, I was like, hey, this is cool. And the instructions with a lot of the chat built into this just kind of tells me what to do. Now, obviously, some stuff's not quite right because you have patches on patches, and you got to change a few things. But for the most part, GPT-4 does a great job with just analyzing a lot of the code, and I have an easy way of doing it. Animations like Hyperland would be great. Yeah, the first thing I wanted to do is kind of get rid of this script to update the status bar and integrate DWMBlocks. But I want to do DWMBlocks inside of DWM.c, or maybe as a header file or something like that, to where I can integrate it. So that's one thing I kind of on my mind to do. Another thing probably is change the numbers to, I like icons a little bit better than the numbers. It also make more of a newer look too. They change that. Yeah, Looking Glass is working great. So if I'm like over, let's just come over here. Looking Glass is working fantastic. I can easily just come right into my Windows instance. And I had somebody the other day say that they had a better experience with latency with Moonlight, which is weird. Looking Glass is great. I think they were probably having like input lag or something. I saw it in the comment. So if you do have like latency in Looking Glass, you shouldn't. It should be native bare metal experience with no latency. Like everything should feel very, very responsive. So somebody was mentioning that. I just thought I'd also mention it here, that if you do that, you have something misconfigured. But anyways, yeah, we can easily pop over and do stuff in Windows at any time. What breaks more easily, Arch or Windows? Ooh. Depends on the user. It really depends on the user. I think it depends on the user's knowledge set. If you're really knowledgeable in both, probably Windows, because updates are the thing that will get you. Also, updates are the thing that gets you in Arch too. It just in a different way. So, no. For me, probably, no. I mean, I think it's still Arch that breaks more easy than Windows, because Windows, I know enough and I can control updates a little bit better, and it's not as volatile, I'd say. Windows has other nuances that I hate, mind you, and I still love Arch way more than Windows. But yeah, I would say, I'd say, Arch breaks more easy. I hate to say it out loud, but it's true. Yeah, I think Arch users are more of a tinkerer type. That's a great way of putting it. And I think I'm very much in that realm. I love tinkering. So that's why. Which is easier to fix. It depends on the problem. Some things are easier to fix in Arch, some things are easier to fix in Windows. I know that sounds like a cop-out response, but it's true. I'm trying to think. Bootloader. Let's say bootloader messing up. That's an easy one that we could do an apples to apples comparison. Boot MGR from Windows is relatively easy to repair with installation media, and Arch's repair of a bootloader like Grub could be a little bit more problematic because you have to go back to a different version. There's been a couple updates of Grub that just broke people's bootloader. So I'd give the win to Windows on that. Easier to fix on the bootloader side of thing, as long as you know what you're doing. Most people, whenever their bootloader breaks, they just reinstall. Whether they're a Windows or Arch user, they do that. And I'm like, well, you can repair both. It doesn't matter. I'd say Windows is a little easier to repair with installation media, where Arch, if you don't have installation media, would probably be a little easier. But yeah, you know. You sneeze and Arch breaks. I wonder how long I'll be on Arch. That's probably the next question. As long as I can. I don't know. Yes, the VM works great. So if we need a Windows VM, we just pull it up. So if we want to come into here, change anything with the system, install stuff, this is kind of what we got rocking. Virtual CPUs. I only thought 16 gigs. I'll probably up that 16 gigs to probably 24 gigs. I feel like it's a little bit better. Since I have 64, I think I could spare about 8 more pretty easily. Anything else I was thinking here? I think pretty much that's it for the Windows side of things. Like if we go, let's just run. I do need to install some stuff real fast. We might do that in the background. Just not the default. Let's see. PowerShell default. Launch parameters. Default. Yeah, let's do that. Conhost is just terrible. Launch size. No. New instance. Yeah, we'll save that. I probably should change. I probably still need to pimp out my my thing there, but let's install a few things. We'll just grab a Thorium. I know I always will get shit for Thorium, but you know, it's fine. What else do we need to install here? Probably Git CLI, Git desktop. I don't know. I'm not probably going to do Vim on this run, because if I want to do Vim, and I'd much rather just come on over to my Linux instance. So yeah, let's see here. Node.js. Nah. I'm trying to think of all the stuff I want to do. I also have a video coming out specifically over this setup called the Ultimate System. More condensed, kind of going over every part of the system, and then references to the live streams with timestamps. So if anybody wants to replicate anything they see here, look for that video coming on the main channel tomorrow. I did that earlier this morning. Let's see. I don't think there's really much else here. Maybe Steam. I think we already have Steam, actually. Yeah. Let's just pin that to start. We'll probably pin that to the taskbar too, because we'll use Steam quite often. Anything else here? Moonlight, some Microsoft apps. Probably some runtimes here. Probably runtime 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I don't think we need 8. NuGet. We will need PowerShell, Power Toys. Windows terminal's already installed. Ooh, I need to take off the notifications on that. What else do we have? Sometimes I do like using GIMP in Windows compared to Linux, depending on what I'm doing. I still have to rewrite some of my script foo stuff. For this, I kind of like Media Player Classic compared to VLC. A lot of people don't know that MPC HC, I think it is actually a pretty up-to-date fork of MPC. I don't know why I hate VLC. I don't hate it. It's just not my favorite, which is kind of odd. You know, I love Advanced IP Scanner. I wish it had a Linux counterpart. You can do like NetSH and other things to do the same thing, but I just like that. Putty, still one of my faves. WinSCP can be very nice. Just thinking of anything else I want to throw. Probably CPU-Z. Yeah, SM Player is pretty good too. Let's see. What else do we need to install on this fresh one? Everything search, I guess, if you use search, but I'm not a big searcher guy. I honestly just break Windows search usually because I hate it. Zoxide's amazing. Gotta have that. If you don't know about Zoxide, you need to go Google that right now. Turn off my stream. Go learn it. You will not be disappointed in the shortcut ability of Zoxide, especially for like PowerShell, command line. In Linux, I love the hell out of Zoxide because of terminal. It just makes things so much easier. Oh, let's see. Anything else? We already did it in the clean install. Man, there's really not much here. I guess pzip. I do like that. Looking at everything else on here, there's not much else I install on a fresh system. Probably WinDRStat just to look at what I'm doing for my drive. Everything else, not really. Let's just install that. See what we got. So we got this. Let's just toss this and like come back to here. Let's get back to DWM for now. We'll leave that running over here. It's kind of cool with this system. We do have some really cool capabilities. If we look at BTOP, like we have all those Windows programs getting installed automatically on Workspace 5. So like Workspace 5, we got all this going. We can just leave this going. Just let it cook. And then I can just come back here, be working, and it doesn't even break a sweat. So this is kind of why I wanted to do this type of machine, so I can get more things going without having to sacrifice anything. The installer uses WinGet mostly. I haven't been using Hyperland lately, mainly because WizTree is pretty good too now. That's true. I probably should switch from. I think it's just I've used WinDRStat for so long, but WizTree is pretty awesome. Anytime I've used it. Looking Glass Performance in CS:GO 2. Sure, we can do that. I don't use a window manager on Windows. At the end of the day, like it always feels janky with the Windows manager on Windows. Yeah. And this is kind of what I'm using right now. Sweet. I haven't updated the utility yet. I have a bunch of stuff kind of sitting in the works on the test branch, but I need to, hopefully Thursday we can jam all that out if all goes well. Heard something. What's going on? Power Toys. So it's cool. So we got sound pass-through working now too, by the way. All right. Yeah, WinGet, it didn't break WinGet. WinGet has a surprising amount of bugs in the 23H2 Windows. So if you have a new Windows install, I got to redo how WinGet is addressed and installed. It used to use a chocolatey script to update and install WinGet, but go install 23H2. I think even 22H2 might have the same bug, but just install Windows and then try to WinGet space search or anything. It'll say WinGet's there, but you can't use it. It's like Microsoft purposely broke WinGet out of the gate. I swear. I don't know how they're a $1 trillion company. It's just depressing to see how often they break their software. Like, I would trust Arch update way more than I would trust Microsoft updating their software. They tend to screw things up so much. I don't understand why. I don't understand why they don't have good QC. They used to have great, I wouldn't say great quality control, but better. And I think after they fired all their quality control department, where they don't even hire anybody to actually QC their stuff, they just push it all out and you're the beta tester. I think they did that like 4 years ago. I know Barnacle used to be a quality control person at Microsoft, and I know they canned him when they laid everybody off up there. They even killed a lot of the current or the binary team, like the people producing all the exe and the binaries in Windows. That team's been cut back pretty drastically. I want to say they used to have like 150, and now I think they're like 60 or 70 people only working on the binaries in the compile team. So, you know, Microsoft's just a giant marketing mess is what it is. That's just how I see it, knowing some people on the inside. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I think it was like a Steve Jobs quote where Steve Jobs gets on and he's like, the problem with Xerox, because he was talking about Xerox back in like the 80s, 90s, because that's where they got like Windows, the modern, you know, Windows and mouse kind of management system is all stolen from Xerox. And he was like, the problem with these big companies is they get run by marketers instead of actual engineers and the people, the innovators of the actual place. Hell, look at Apple now. I mean, it's kind of funny. It's a little ironic that these marketers are great at turning profit and usually, you know, squeezing out every single bit of money from the system. But in the end, it just destroys the company because they can't innovate anymore, because they don't have they've driven out all those people in key decision-making areas. I can't remember the exact quote, but it was a good one. Jobs actually knew what he was talking about there. Yeah, Copilot is interesting. I like Copilot in this cursor. I've been using cursor a lot lately, and I really kind of dig a lot of its functionality. What do we want to do with DWM actually? Let me see. What are we doing here? Installs it finished. Cool. So we got that. Cool. So we got all these new, cleaned up all those guys. Oh, you know what? I don't think we've even fixed WinGet, have we? Maybe I have actually. I think I did actually. Yeah, no, I did. It was obviously we had fixed it because of all that. All right. Anywho, that was that. Yeah, programmers though, the really skilled programmers out there, man, they can write their own ticket. I think there's going to be a big renaissance that we're going to see coming up, where programmers are going to be able to make anything they want, and they're going to be able to do it by themselves or with a very small team and compete with these giant companies. And I think there's going to be something really cool happening, especially you're going to see indie games. You're going to see all these things, people with these great ideas that can actually do them as an engineer. Going to be awesome. So I can't wait. I think the future is very, very bright. That's the one thing I think people get down on, like AI or whatever it is, buzzword of the day, really. And it's just seeing the shift from, hey, back when I was just getting started in you know, my 20s, I remember everybody wanted to work for like Google or a big company and get into a cush position and then just be able to, you know, that was the dream. And now that's like the opposite of the dream. Everyone wants to get out of the corporate environment and get into like a more solo type situation and just make stuff. And you can, like, your resources have increased, and the things that you can do today is just a single programmer blows my mind. And I mean, man, I wish I was born, you know, 10 years ago or 20 years ago. I think that would have been amazing. You really could do so much in today's environment. Although you know, there's more addiction and other things that are way worse, especially in the, you know, not to get too far down the rabbit hole here, but when it comes to cell phone addiction, I think is a huge thing, and other vices that didn't really exist when I was 20 years old, or very minimal compared to today's problems, especially just electronics and internet. So anyway, sorry. Let's see. I think DWMBlocks is where we want to go from here. Or let's start with an easy patch, removing the numbers and doing regular icons, I think is the way to go. What do you think of Devin, first AI software engineer? I don't know enough about it, Daft, to comment on it. Need to take a look at it. Who do you recommend NixOS to? Business IT people that need to replicate a Linux workstation to 1,000 different workstations. That's really what NixOS is for. It's just for replicating an environment hundreds, if not thousands of times. Are you going to react to React OS? I don't know enough about React and stuff. There's a, you know, it's really neat. Sometimes I'll watch like Pirate Software or like Primeagen and some of the bigger guys on Twitch that do software development. And those guys are like professional programmers. And it's fun to see their takes, but I don't know enough about those programming languages as a non-professional programmer to comment on them. Now, you get into the more IT side of things or the infrastructure side of things. That's where most of my expertise lie, which is kind of funny. Like when it comes to Windows OS, most people don't know this, but all my certifications, actually probably the people that have followed me for a while know this, but all my certifications, like I got 15 different Microsoft certifications. I got the whole alphabet behind my name starting in like 2000 to probably, I think the last Microsoft cert I got was like in 2015. So, you know, I got like an MCITP Enterprise Administrator, XP, Vista. I think I stopped getting more of the lower end certs around like 2009 era, and then most of the stuff after that's more enterprise based, but kind of funny. Not the programming languages. When will you install DWL? I don't know. Maybe eventually. I think I ran DWL for a little bit, but I really just like the I like Xorg, man. Specifically, I can go up to my other system and then come back down here. So I have two systems side by side, and I can easily just shift up and then down. So whenever input leap gets there, we'll make it a thing. Let's go patches. Think let's see, active tag indicator bar. Don't really care about that. It might be a little improvement, but I don't think that's worth it. Probably switching the tags from numbers to icons is for what we need. Can you use Google Fi? I see the tab in the browser. Yeah. No, I use Google Fi all the time. That's where I get most of my internet. Or not my internet, but cell phone. Cell phone runs through there. Some of my stuff does. Not all. Like my business stuff, I don't put through Google Fi. Mainly because I like to control all that. So I actually control end-to-end all my phone numbers associated with the business because I don't trust a lot of them. I remember Linus Tech Tips getting hacked because someone reverse engineered the cell phone company and called up his cell phone provider acting as him. And then they freaking, you know, did some social engineering and was able to basically talk their way into getting Linus's phone number on a new SIM card, and then they hacked into his account. I mean, LTT's been hacked several times, but in that specific instance, I think that was like X and a bunch of, or Twitter or whatever, a bunch of their things got hacked because of the two-factor was based on that. Most of my two-factor is not based on that, and wherever there could be a physical key, I always opt for the physical key. So if someone does exploit me or be able to get my passwords, it wouldn't be them logging into all my accounts. Any account that can have a physical key has one. So you'd have to rob me, grab the physical key, then figure out all my passwords and which form of two-factor I'm doing. It would be a tall order. Not to say it can't be done, but man, you must really hate my guts if you're going to all that trouble. Oh yeah, LTT's still going. Same old, same old. Active tag. Okay, no, I don't want to do this. Alternate tags, maybe. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted. Something like this is what I'm thinking. Let's save this. Let's see how big. What kind of changes is this one going to be making? For the config, we're going to be doing an alt tags. It's just going to add alt tags and show only when the key is held down. Oh, that's interesting. Momentary alt tags. That's an option I don't want, but it's cool. Toggle alt tag mod key in, and then we got the changes here. Looks like a couple functions. Toggle alt tag and then key release. Looks like a pretty basic patch. Let's patch it. Recommendations for physical keys. YubiKeys, the number one. If you have a Google account, I think Google sells their own, which is, I think, I want to say it's a Titan key. And those are really good. All right, let's save this guy. And we're going to put this in probably, let's go home. Thought I had more. Oh, there we go. GitHub, DWM patches. We'll just toss alternate tags in there. Then let's show a patch of DWM here. Let's go. So this is Zoxide. I just do Z and then I just start the name of the directory and then it just jumps there. So you can see it jumped all the way to GitHub DWM-Titus. Zoxide, amazing. A lot of people remember auto jump. Auto jump kind of sucks compared to Zoxide. I always find Zoxide works great. Oh, Goat, you changed your tags with no patches. Oh, really? Let's see. Let's just look at the config.h tags. Ah, well, let's just make... Oh, let's see. How are we gonna grab these emojis? Emoji. I don't know. Just getomoji.com. Sure. Can we just do terminal? Whoa. What was this? Okay, no. This is smileys. I wonder. Let's go objects maybe. Interesting questions regarding WinUtil in Windows 10. Everything but install works when using it. It says install error. When I reinstall WinGet, it says Microsoft 140 lib and WinGet UI lib and chocolate. Oh, okay. To fix that gaming, what you need to do is you can do Coco install WinGet, which won't fix it, but will grab some of those libraries, specifically the 140 lib. It will grab and install, and then you can go WinGet GitHub, I want to say. Or you could pull up the Microsoft store as well. And from the Microsoft store type, I think it's WinGet, and you should pull up package installer and then update it through the Microsoft store if you want to go that route. Or come directly here, go to releases, and you will need to download the license XML and then also the MSXi bundle. And then from that, when you have those, let's just go. I think I actually... Man, that'd be cool if it kept my terminal, but let's see. What have I been typing in the terminal? And then that command. I just had to do it because I've been researching different ways to reinstall WinGet, specifically not using the Microsoft Store, because I really don't want to tell people open the Microsoft Store and update it through there. I just despise the Microsoft Store. So this method, which let's just zoom in here. You would just do add AppX provisioned package like this, path, and I don't know if you need path. You might be able to omit it, but the path where these files are located, I just had in my downloads. Then you want the package path. That's going to be the MXI bundle. I was using tab autocompletes. That's why it looks funky. And then you got dash license path, and then that's where the XML goes. If you do this after doing a Coco install WinGet that automatically grabs all the dependencies, it will install WinGet without ever visiting the Microsoft Store. Is this the best way to do it? Absolutely not. I'm still working on a different way. I know this way is kind of convoluted. I just wish Microsoft would stop breaking Winget out of the gate without forcing people into the Microsoft store, but yeah, it's Microsoft. Anywho, there you go. Backslash instead of forward slash. Well, here's how you think of it. Analytic mind, I'm glad you said that. Microsoft does everything backwards, so you use backslashes when dealing with Microsoft. Everyone else is forward thinking, so when dealing with anybody that's not Microsoft, you use a forward slash. Hopefully that helps. That's how I always remember backslash versus forward slash. Backwards thinking versus forwards thinking. Anywho, a good idea. Let's see. Terminal. We're still looking for the emoji. I know there's like an iBus type package you could do so you can search emojis easier on Linux. I did it once and I can't remember what I did with that. Yeah, you know. Guess I could probably just let's go. I think we just stay on the things thing. From most of these emojis are pretty universal and are part of almost every font package, so that's why I'm just using emoji. But I'm thinking just going things and just selecting the emojis out here. Let's see what we get. I almost want to go with like a fonts awesome cheat sheet. Let's see what that looks like actually, because this is not quite what I like. Let's go fonts awesome cheat sheet. All right, fonts awesome 5. Let's see what version that Arch wants to give me. Do I have a open workspace? Here we go. Let's go and find fonts awesome. Probably font awesome or awesome fonts. Swear, feels like they always have dyslexia. Whoever writes the packages for Arch, it's always that way. TTF font awesome using version 6.5. So let's just grab that, and we're gonna grab TTF font awesome, and then let's just grab it from font awesome 6.5. This is the cheat sheet for 4.7. No, cheat sheet 6. All right, that's the 6, but here we go. Font awesome 6.5. All right, we got accessibility. Bell. This is gonna take a little bit. Let's just do a search for terminal and see what comes up. Terminal, FA terminal. I like that. Okay. So to copy that, how to copy these emojis would be the easiest thing. I guess you can just go, let's see, right click copy and see what happens if we just paste it in. Nothing. Okay, great. And Control V. No, that's no good. No good for terminal there. Is that like an image? What is that? All right, maybe this cheat sheet's not the best. Let's try a different one. Oh wow, that's a 3 font awesome 3 cheat sheet. All right, let's try this one. 6 style regular category. Okay, let's just go terminal. I'm regretting my choices. Regret my choices here. Yeah, let's just rely on chat here. Let's see. Yeah, this is better. Thank you guys. Just go to fontawesome.com v6 search. All right, terminal. This is what we need. Anything with pro we don't want. Obviously, Arch is not going to have that license. And I think we can just copy this. Easiest way. Copy icon URL. Copy icon name. Copy that. Copy glyph is what we want. There we go. So now we should be able to come back here. Go Control V. Ah, perfect. Okay. And then number 2, we want to do Chrome or a browser. Well, I'll just say Chrome. That'll be easy. Copy Chrome glyph. And then number 3, text editing probably of some sort is what we'd want. Text editor, no. Editor, not exactly the icon I'm looking for. Program. All that's pro anyways. Code maybe? Yeah. Yeah, let's go code. We'll put code there. And then number 4, what do we want to do with number 4? What are we doing with number 4 right now? It's just kind of like extra. So for the extra, I think probably doing a... I almost want to put GitHub at the end because I usually have like GitHub desktop open in 5. Could put poo. All right. Let's just toss GitHub at the other one. I think that's going to be 5. Let's put GitHub there. And then for 4, geez, what do I want to put there? Star, a check, bars. I almost want to just do a gear because I just don't know what else I'm going to put in 4. So it could be a system setting. It could be modifying a comp file. It could be something in that regard. I think that's really what I'll use workspace for. I feel like the gear would be more multi-purpose for that. And I don't really like doing more than 5 workspaces. I know that seems like not that many, but it's fine. All right, we'll make that. And let's just... I don't think we need that alternate patches that I downloaded. Let's get rid of that. DWM alternate tags. Let's just delete that. And I also changed the make file for DWM because I wanted to do like a releases. So it actually zips up every time I make it the binary. It copies the binary to here, and then it also makes a tar file. So anytime I make, I'll easily be able to create a new release over on GitHub. All right, cool. So we have that. Let's quit out. Quit out that. Quit out that. All right. Anything else? That's good. All right, cool. So we'll just kill DWM. Relaunch. All right, cool. And then we got our tags kind of situated. Tags are a little small. I wonder if increase font size maybe. Yeah, so it's a binary analytical. It's a binary file. So you're making this file every time. When you make a change, it's basically just one binary file. It's only like 100 kilobits, and that's the only thing running in the background here. So yeah, you kind of have to kill it to relaunch it. I bet we could write some kind of config type setup, but I don't know. Just mostly DWM. Toko. That's what I like. Just DWM. I tried ST, but I kind of miss Kitty. Kitty, it just feels really good to me. I really like Kitty. I feel like CD downloads. Do we have like Nomax trend micro? Yeah, the swallow works here. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering about that. DWM is really cool because most tiling managers, when you launch like a file, like a JPEG or a video file, you could do MPV from your terminal. Instead of launching it into a new window, it swallows up the existing terminal it was launched from, and then when you quit out, it drops you back in the terminal. So it's really neat. I love the swallow in DWM. It really is. It makes things a lot easier. So I really do enjoy that. All right, so we have that. I need to change this tiling as well, actually, now that I look at this. Let's just change config. Any other changes I want to make here? Probably the tags. Let's see. I think we can actually modify the tags if we want. View on tag. And some of this might be the Systray. I've also noticed some of the icons, like it's kind of weird. We have, well, one, we have 2 synergies, which is kind of odd. And then we have some artifacting with this big one. We're probably going to figure that out too. As far as everything else, though, I think that's good. Just seeing. All right, and layouts. This is where I kind of want to change around. We got tile and null. Tile, I feel like we could change that around too. Yeah, I've tried tiling window manager extensions in Windows. They all suck. But no, I mean, they're not terrible. Like Cormambi is probably the best out of all of them. It's just, it's tacked on. That's what I hate about it with Windows. Honestly, this is what I hate about Mac too, is you're just building on this poor foundation, and that's not fun. That's why I kind of love Linux a lot, because it's always a great foundation that you're building on. Let's see. I think my first iterations of the Titus Pi too, I was using, I think, Awesome Window Manager, and Window Managers are just so darn light. You're basically running nothing, and that's what I love about them. We need to find a way here. Let's just pull up this font, Awesome, and let's go tile. Do we have toilet? Okay, well, that's not quite what I want, huh? Maybe window. Windows. Ugh. That might be good for like floating, but I kind of wanted an adjacent tiling maneuver. Can we get rid of the Pro? Probably not. Yeah, well. Let's see. Still like Font Awesome just because of the icon selection's pretty vast. See, I wanted something like that. That'd be great, but I can't use the Pro version. That's no bueno. At least I don't think I can, right? Yeah, Font Awesome with Cloudflare. That'd be good too for certain websites. I think that's where they get most of their money from here. Because if let's say I grab that, will it allow me to just use this glyph? I mean, obviously I don't care. I'm not trying to profit off of anything, so I think maybe. Let's see. It'd be kind of cool. Nah, it looks jank. It looks like a fire. Okay. That's, oops. That's no bueno. All right. That would have been cool. Just go solid. I like solid a lot. I just don't have anything. That would be good for full screen. Let's just kill that. And let's go free. Okay. Solid and free are really the ones I want to use. Now, give me something that looks like tiling windows. Layer group. Ooh, that would be cool for maybe. We might come back to layer group. Table, maybe. We could probably use that, actually. I like that. I think we're going to use table for the glyph. Let's just put that in here. And then for null, so if, let's say I want to go full screen with this, I don't think it actually shows. Okay. And if we go floating, okay. So floating is what that one's going to be. For the floating, I almost kind of want to go back up to layers and use that one, because that kind of looked like windows floating on top of each other. Let's go layers. Well, let's do that. And now your pants are blue. Ah, dang it. That looks like crap. Okay, well, that's not going to work. Disregard. Maybe just... There's bars. This is always the things that I spend the most time on, just because it's so hard for me to get anything right when it comes to visual look. I'm just not an artistic fella. Shocking as that may be to people. Oh, well. Alright, let's continue going this way with it. Alright. Should see floating. Something that's floating. Ooh, dragon. That's cool. Cool little icon. Clone. That actually looks good. I think I'm going to go with the clone. That could be like floating. I like the overlap. That might be good. Let's see how it comes out in here. Ah, it looks so good. Okay, now for the last one, we just do window. Not even going to see it because of how I do full screen mode, but we'll put it in here anyways. We'll just go window. And what we're going to... Oh, window restore actually would have been even better. Ah, well. Drafts, thanks for the tier 1. Yeah, just fix arch real fast. It's super easy. Everyone can do this. Although, I do want to make it to a point where I think everyone can do this. I think eventually we'll get there. Okay, so we got layouts fixed, so we no longer have this ugly looking symbol. I think the icon font is what we got to approach next. Snap Pixel 32. border pixel around that. Yeah, thanks, Crash. Yeah, Thursday stream's going to be the Windows utility. This is just DWM. Probably my favorite. Out of all the window managers, DWM's probably my fave. Just because there's never been something, if I set my mind to fixing something in it, it gets fixed and I can change anything. You can't say that about any other window manager. The downside is the complexity of just doing it in C can be a little rough at times, but it's doable, which is cool. Anything is doable. X11, yes. Love Xorg. I am going to be an Xorg chill. I'm going to be like the last person in the world on Xorg that hasn't jumped shift to the Wayland train. Although, once Input Leap gets Wayland support, I'm good. I'll probably jump ship actually pretty fast. But then I'll probably be on DWL. I mean, there's an amazing amount of binaries in the world written in C. It's probably one of the most, I don't know. If you take out the internet, I would probably say most binaries are in C, right? Or C++ or C#, some version of C. I don't know if that's me just thinking like, yeah, maybe. But yeah, thinking like executable files in Windows would be where most binaries would be. That the world uses. And I think probably most of that would probably be C. What made me choose DWM? I think the fact that anything can be done. Anything can be done in it. And it's actually relatively simple until you start adding patch after patch. I'm like at 15 patches right now, so things are getting a little bit more difficult. But I just loved like this. Having this chat right here, I love just looking over and going, hey, what are you guys up to over there? And then being able to kind of catch everybody and click on stuff. And it's neat that I can customize that and put it on every single screen. So then I can always have chat on the right side. And I'm like, cool. Or the right side. Or your right side's actually left side for me. But, you know. Usually the random VPN clients are required to use kills Linux for me. Oh no, Crash. Yeah. A lot of people use OpenVPN. OpenVPN has pretty decent support. WireGuard's also probably the biggest one I set up these days. Instead of using OpenVPN, WireGuard's what I use a lot. And they don't have good Linux clients, but they do have good Linux support, so you can build services. So as soon as you launch into Linux, it'll just go ahead and create that tunnel. So I do like to create, like, if it's an open VPN tunnel, I usually create like a systemd service and just have that going. So as soon as I log in as a user, it activates that service, and then I'm connected to that other network automatically. Same with WireGuard. It can be a little complex setting that up, but once you get it set up, it's good forever. Having said that, it is a lot easier on Windows when you just pull up the proprietary client or whatever, and then you're entering all that stuff copy paste style. But teach his own. Oh no, I never did gaming. I need to fix up my GitHub profile a little bit. One of these days, probably next month. I love GitHub still. Until Microsoft ruins it, and then I'll probably move on. Only a matter of time, but for now, everything they've done hasn't been terrible yet. But again, I'm not going to be like sitting here going shocked and awe whenever they do inevitably break it. I feel like the snap pixel is too high. What if we change this to like a 20? Let's try like let's change this to like 26. And let's just save that out. Let's do a make, sudo make install. And let's just quit all that out. And we're going to just relaunch real fast. There might be a better way to relaunch DWM2. Interesting. Does look a lot better now. Yeah, I like that. And this one, let's go cursor. Yeah, Sleeping Legs. I love those wallpapers, man. I love the Nord wallpapers. They are just so great. Oh, I was about to show, and then I was like, wait a second, I got Chatterino everywhere. uh, so the next thing we probably will do, DWM blocks. I want to say a modular status bar for DWM written in C. So there's a StatusCMD diff. I think we actually can grab this directly from Suckless. And then I don't want to necessarily build DWM blocks and run a different binary. I know this is going to make things really, really complex. But what if we just combine DWM blocks into DWM.C? I'm sure someone's already done that, so it's probably like reinventing the wheel, but I don't know. I feel like that's okay. I feel like that would just be a better way of doing it, maybe. Oh, actually, though, if it's a different binary, it'd be easier to like load and reload pretty quick. Yeah, let's try it the regular way and then figure out if we want to go that route. Let's go DWM Suckless and just grab that patch. Yeah, the big idea here is just I want just one binary that does it all. I just run it and then everything works. And you can do that with DWM. It's just you have to think about every eventuality in every system that you have and then code it in. So I think I'm going to have fun with this because coding like brightness and backlights for the laptops I have, and then you also have other aspects and you got to think about different configurations and then adjust your I don't want to adjust the config. I want to do like an if else statement based on what DWM's reading to just go ahead and set the config to a sane level. So I think that'd be cool. Oh, the someone's asking about Chatterino on the side here. I had the same problem with the chats. If you're using Linux, Maury, what you can do is, I think it was Windows fonts. What did I end up using? I think it was TTF Windows. No. Oh, I remember what I did. Arch Linux, Windows fonts, Microsoft fonts. Let me just put this in chat for you. This, what you want to do, and oh, yeah, that's right. You could just do TTF MS Win 11 Auto, and it'll grab all the fonts. I'm gonna send this to you in chat. You can use this in a lot of different things. MS Core fonts is another one. You can do. At the end of the day, I didn't end up doing any of this. What I ended up doing was just going directly on my Windows install and then just grabbing all the RTF files directly from it. So what you can do, just to showcase that. So this is like the, hey, use these things. You can use core fonts. You can use MS fonts. There's a lot of AUR stuff, but it's all like old fonts, you know, not official fonts. I was like, I don't know what these Arch users last time they did it. Arch users are kind of weird. I'm just gonna say it. Y'all know I'm right here. Most Arch users are different. In most ways, that's usually a good thing. I love different kind of minds and different ways of thinking, but it's sometimes they don't necessarily are super analytical about some stuff and updating some AUR packages. You know, they might have published it back in 2007 and then just left it in the AUR. Which, all right, that's an option. But what I did was I said, I don't like using the AUR. So I just went directly, and instead of symlinking a Windows fonts partition like it suggests here, who does that, by the way? That's so stupid. Why would you symlink off an NTFS drive? ArchWiki people, no, this just copy the fonts to your, and I wouldn't even copy it here. This is actually wrong too. So anyways, let me just show you the right way. We're just going to go into Windows, and we're going to just pull up our browser, which I need to change some of my, oh geez, some of my hotkeys here. in the browser, what I ended up doing, I think, is just coming directly into C Windows, and I believe, was it Sys32? I think it is. They gave you the wrong location in Arch, but I want to say Sys32 fonts is where it's at. Ah, shit, maybe not. I mean, I'm kind of an old man. I like large fonts. Oh yeah. Here we go. C Windows fonts. So then you got this, right? Wait. This is so crazy. What did it launch into here? Open a new tab. Oh. Weird. So anyways, what you do is you have all these Microsoft fonts and any other fonts you've installed on your Windows system, and you just copy all these. Just go Control A, Control C, and then you bring those into like a regular one, which I don't think I did. I haven't done my NTFS shares yet, or my NFS shares yet on this one. Anywho, you would do that, and then just copy and paste these into your Linux partition. So let's say you're over here. I like to put it, or the proper spot you should put all your fonts for your user is in local share. And I want to say fonts. Did I put them here? I better have. Okay, yeah. So you can see all of my fonts here are popped into here. So anytime I grab a font from Windows or Linux, I usually like to put them in my .local share fonts folder. This is actually the XDG standard. And if you're doing like Flatpak or app image, a lot of times you're missing fonts, right? Because it doesn't have access to the USR folder. So you really want to add all these fonts to the .local share fonts folder so your Flatpaks can grab those fonts and other things can grab them. Specifically, why I'm saying all this is because Chatterino is I think it's like a Flatpak or an app image. Hell, I don't remember. One of the two. And it's needing those fonts in this specific location because that's where Flatpak has access to grab fonts from. It doesn't have access to USR, which is not user folder. It's actually Universal System Resources, I think. Don't quote me on that acronym. It's System Resources is basically what USR stands for. And it is denied access a lot of that stuff by default. So if you're doing like an XDG standard, which is where like your default programs and everything kind of gets put in, you kind of want your fonts in this folder. So the more you know. So yeah, if you ever need, that's the folder. And if we do it PWD, it's just home.local share fonts. Great tip. Very useful. And I only say that, and not to belittle anybody, I was just pounding around trying to find this. I'm like, why the hell isn't this working? And it took me like a couple hours of researching, and I was like, oh, okay, I see how Flatpak's doing this and that, and then I was finally able to get there. It's just one of those Linuxy things that you just kind of have to know. But once you know it, you won't make that mistake again. All right, cool. So anyways, a little bit of a side there. We're going to do StatusCMD, I believe, is what we're looking for. StatusCMD. This gives the ability to send status signals or status monitors to DWMBlocks. Great. So we'll just grab this DWM patch, save link as, toss it in here, and let's patch. Let's patch some DWM, shall we? We'll go over to DWM folder. So I think you can just do patch and then do like -I for input file and go patches DWM status if. All right, we got 3 hunks that failed. Bummer. Okay. So to look at that, let's just cat config def H rejection. We were trying to do sig status bar. Okay, I see what it's trying to do. So it wants these. Let's fix our config. H. Actually, we'll do the def first. And I want to say that was down here. There should be this spawn. It probably just got confused. So if we look, ooh, grabbed a bunch of garbage. All right. Button 1, button 2. It's kind of weird that there's, oh yeah, class spawn for terminal command. So this is what it should look like. I'm just making sure we're not trying to overwrite any weird command with a different function. And it looks good. So that fixes that one rejection. So then we can go remove, config, def, h, rejection. There's probably a faster way to do this. You can probably do it through git. I've just done so many patches that most of these things are just going to fail. One of those things. Anyways, let's also fix our config.h file. The def file is just the default file. I don't necessarily need to do that one. I just felt like doing it. And if I was smart, I would have pasted it from there, but you know, I'm not. Oh, actually, yeah, I like that. Let's do a, I'm trying to think here. Let's just grab the def spawn. Was it? No, it wasn't that. Where was it? It was towards the end. And what we're going to do is just grab this guy. Yank that. 4 lines yanked. Did I grab 4? Oh, I grabbed a blank file. All right. Okay. All that looks really good. With that section. And yeah, we don't need this place mouse stuff. I don't really care about that documentation. Okay. Now if we list this, we can remove config def original. Yes. Now we need to fix the rejection in DWC rejection. And if we look back, we had one hunk failed at line 172. Oh, 2 more, one at 445 and one at 709. I know this seems complex, but it's really not that hard once you get the hang of it. And you feel like a genius when you're doing it. It's like using Vim. I'm sure there's a better way of doing this at the time, but when you get it down and it actually works, you're like, yeah, I'm a genius. But it's really not that bad. It just looks complex. Okay, so here's our rejection file. We're looking for an elif at, or no. I wonder why it couldn't just add this. It's just a static PID. Should be able to just yank that and toss that around 172. Let's go. Can we just go up here? 172. Oh, shit. I've patched it so much, it doesn't even know where. I don't even know where to declare this. This is pretty funny. Okay. Static. Let's find get state. Static long get state. It should be under static void. Focus stack. Oh, Lord. Okay. Focus stack. All right. It's not in there. That's all the way in line 1000. All right. So it says it's in this section. Get root, get state, get status bar. So if we look, get root, get state, and then get status would go right here. Get PID, get status bar PID. So there's that missing one. And if let's say we screw all this up too, guys, that's definitely a real possibility when doing these edits. The cool thing about screwing all this up is it's just git. So instead of doing a push or a commit, we'll just go, that didn't work. And then you can just do a git stash and git stash drop. And then it's just poof. It'll all just go right back to how it was before we did this. So the next one's going to be around 450. We're going to be coming after a button press event. So if we go to button press, we're looking for this line, this else if. And we're going to be going, that's a pretty big else if. Huh. Click status text. All right. I feel like this line wouldn't change in a patch. And we're just going to the function button press and then looking for it. So is this in the button press event? Sure is. So that's a pretty easy one. What changed and why'd the patch fail? So if we look, let's just kill this. This is the elephant found. Get Systray width. This failed because the else if has changed because of a Systray patch. So that's why this actually looks a little different. I wonder if there's an easier way to grab. Hell, it'd probably be easier if I just do it in here. Let's just go open. Let's open that to the side. And I want to say we could probably just do like a shift. Nope. Let's just do an alt. Nope. Control. Nope. Control alt. Oop, maybe onto something. I can't remember the command to go straight down and just ignore the side in VS Code. Can't do it in Vim either. I am worthless. Dang it. Let's see here. Minus status W. Alt D. Really? I don't know. I feel like someone's trolling me with the Alt D. Is it? Oh, that's cool. I think it remapped Alt D here. Match whole word. Match. I think that's just mapped a little different. I'm not using like official VS Code. It's like based on VS Code though. Control down arrow, shift in to select all text. So if we highlight what we wanted to change, like this right here, we're going to need to change for the else. And if we go control shift in, you said? I don't think that's going to work. Yeah, see, the thing is there's these pluses and I want to omit all the pluses. I don't know why I'm having such a problem with that. One thing we do need to fix up here though is this status W. And what we need to change is get rid of this int text W s text. And let's just fix that real fast. So if you look right here, we're doing a couple different things, and we're also getting this Systray width, but we only really are modifying this part of the code. So that's why the patch failed. And now it's just going to be sysw. And then we also have minus Systray width. Now, we got click Systray right here. And then we want to add this line. I guess we could just go by line. It doesn't matter. I was just trying to be lazy. Imagine that. It wants to kill the else. We're not. We're going to leave else where it's at. Weird thing here is... Oh. Okay. That's going to error out on me. Because this was a singular line. So make sure we get our brackets. And then what we're going to do here, let's just do our closing bracket like that. Don't necessarily like that format, but hey. Okay, so that looks good right there. And now we just got to add the status sig and then this for loop right here. And what this for loop's doing is it's checking to see if something's clicked in the status bar. So if you click here, it'll register it. And then it's going to go through and go, hey, what else needs to happen? And basically it's saying, hey, what status signal is being sent here? Also, you can, like, let's say I wanted to specify, like I had a weather updater up here. Instead of saying update every 5 seconds, like a dumb bash script, what you can do is send basically a kill command using like pkill or whatnot in sig term, that but you use a special signal ID, and it will go ahead and issue it only to the weather one, and it'll manually update it. Let's say when you like every, you know, instead of doing it every hour or whatever it is, you can do it on different things, which it doesn't make sense for like weather updating necessarily, but it does make sense for like, hey, the volume's changed, go ahead and send this signal ID over to here, and then this will catch it and be able to do stuff with it. Oh, you lost the code. Oh man, Vin, I would just die if I lost all my code to my DWM. Although, you know, I don't know. There's some beauty with starting over too, because then you can like go, you know, start with the newest. You know, I think this is still 6.3 code instead of 6.4. I forget why I did that. Probably not a good reason. You know what? Let's try something. This is kind of cool. I wanted to show this. Someone mentioned Alt-D earlier. That's actually a hotkey to open up the chat. But this is one cool thing about why I love this. I think, let's go new chat. Let's just ask chat and go, hey, how do I remove... Oh, I guess I could just remove all those pluses. But how do I highlight vertically in VS Code without selecting the beginning of the line? Did I spell beginning wrong? Screw it. Let's see. Column select mode. In Windows and Linux, press Shift and Alt, and then use the arrow keys to create a vertical selection using the mouse. Hold Alt and then click and drag the mouse to select the columns. Oh, it's just Alt? That didn't work. Okay. All right, let's try the Shift Alt. All right, Shift Alt, and then, that does work. Okay. And then let's just go to the end. Oh, that doesn't work, huh? Oh, crap. Interesting. I mean, honestly, the best way to do it is just Shift Alt and then just come down. Problem solved. That's one way to do it. So we'll copy this and then paste. Status sig over here. And that's good. Just leave those back just in case. Okay. So now we have that. Proper indentation. Everything looks good. Now let's go to our next rejection. This is the last honk rejection for DWM-C. And what we're going to do here, it looks like we're looking for drawbar. In drawbar, the function's drawbar, and specifically we're wanting to look at this DRW text. And I bet you this would never change. So let's copy this. And what we're going to do is just go, all right, where's that? This is drawbar monitor M. Perfect. So there's this guy, 2 points, extra padding, and then DRW. What's so different about this? It's a little different. And I'd be lying if that didn't worry me a little bit. But I don't see anything else here. So I think we can just get rid of the TW and the DRW text. And I think it would be fine. I don't see anything. The one thing I'm worried about when it comes to drawbar is interfacing with the Systray up there, because that's another patch that has been applied. But I don't see anything in there that would be cause for alarm. So we delete the negative. Then we just come back to here. And using our Alt-Shift arrow method, like a caveman, we're just going to take this, copy it, and that's going to go right here. Just like so. Now, that looks like it would work, right? But we're seeing a bunch of red squiggly lines. That means it's going to be broken. Like, really, really broken. Why? And it's because we missed the char text declaration right here under if m Solomon. So let's, before we set the scheme, put that in there. Okay, no more squiggly red lines. Good. All right, and then let's see, is there any other pluses or anything we missed over here? I'm gonna just undo that. The rest of it looks good for the rejection. Yeah, the chat function's special to cursor. I just love it because I can just, it's like having a professional right next to you that tells you the right thing 60% of the time. It's super cool, you know, as long as you understand he's a bit of a bullshitter and sometimes he just makes crap up. So, or maybe she, depending on your viewpoint. And you gotta have to take some of the stuff chat gives you with a grain of salt. But I love just having that function there because, you know, 50% of the time it works every time. Now, we do have some other things. Okay, so we have, I don't know, these look like errors, but the status bar, get status bar PID. We didn't add any of that in the stuff. Let's see about, I think we need to look at the diff file now because it's not liking something that happened here. And this was also added probably, but it wasn't rejected. So everything we did's right, but the patch itself, I think, is going to fail just because of this. It's an undefined variable, it looks like, which is weird because the diff file should grab that. So let's just go here. Let's open it to the side. Let's close the rejection. I think we're good with that for now. Now, looking at all the patches that it's done, if we look through here, it's grabbing that. Do we see anything for status bar? These are the manually done hunks. We did this manually. I didn't see that being added, so we might look back on that. Then we got the status bar, PID, PID-T, get status bar, okay. Where? Let's just find it. Let's just highlight status bar. SIG status bars and then PID. These are just function declarations. Define status bar DWM blocks. That's what's happening. It's not defined. So this was actually the definition, define status bar DWM blocks. Looks like it happens in config.h. Did our config.h actually have that? Define SHCMD, round line 54. So, 54. Oh, shit, I've added so much stuff. It's like, well, the line stuff. Ah, here we go. Spawning shell commands. This is what it wants. Status bar should have been here. Ah, there we go. We're missing the definition of the status bar DWM blocks from the header file. That's what was causing that output error. This is one of the nice benefits. I know it seems like blasphemy of not using Vim compared to like Cursor or VS Code. But you gotta admit, it's pretty nice that it gives you problems before you do anything. Instead of just blindly patching and then just praying to the DWM gods, you can actually see the errors before you actually go try and make the file. And as long as you have some functionality, some like basic programming knowledge, and you understand like variable definitions and those types of things, it seems pretty straightforward. So with that done, I think we're good. If we look at the def-h file, let's go ahead and change that as well. I hate keeping up with this stupid file, though. I don't even know why I bother. Anywho, that is neither here or there. We are looking good. And as far as unrecognized token C, C++, I have no idea what that is. I don't think it's a big problem. So with that done, I think we can compile. Another cool thing I like to do is, so we have this. I like to pull GitHub Desktop, and it kind of shows me everything I'm changing and doing throughout this commit. So if we look, we did the changes to the tags, made them more of an icon. We can change the symbols from the tile, full screen, and monocle layouts. Binary files I can't read, but then you can see all the changes we made to DWM.c. I really like GitHub Desktop and how it kind of lays out your changes, and it kind of gives a good overview and go, hey, what could I have possibly done to screw all this up? And it's really kind of a cool way of looking at this. Let's just delete the origin file and the rejection file. Don't really need those. That's a binary file. Diff is fine. And I think we're good. Let's do a make. Let's just quit this. We'll do make. Perfect. Look at that. First try. Well, let's not toot our own horn yet, though. Yeah. There is an LSP for Vim as well. I just really suck at setting it all up. Although I have a decent Vim setup, it's just not, I don't know, not as intuitive as what I have in Cursor just yet. Restart DWM, instant crash. Casper's sitting there. Should we take a poll if this is going to work? I mean, that was a lot of changes for the status command. I think it'll work just fine, though. I have faith. Let's see. Let's see. Can I do a poll? Yeah, here we go. 1 second. Will DWM launch after all these changes? Yes or no? 1 minute on this poll. You let me know, chat. What do you guys think? Dang. Ooh, poll's not off to a good start just yet. Yikes. All right. Oh, yeah. We got rid of the Discord server. Man, a lot of people use Discord. I didn't realize that many people use it. I've pretty much dropped off of Discord completely after dropping the server. It just takes too much time. All right, we're coming up. We got 10 more seconds to vote in this poll, and we will know if what y'all think of all these patches. That was a big patch, and 54% of you say there's no way it's gonna launch, while 46% says it will launch. My prediction is y'all can suck it because this is gonna work great. That's what my prediction is. I honestly am 93% sure this is going to work great. My personal thought. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Quits. Here we go. Worked pretty good. Obviously, our padding over here for like our status bar is now a little bit broken. But that's actually okay because we're going to kill that, and we're going to be using the DWM blocks going forward. That's the idea. This was just a patch for the patch. So this is the first part of the stat, so we can do sig kill and have clickable things, so we can click on like the audio and then get responses and run scripts, and then also you know, add more modularity to it. So the next thing would be building DWM blocks and then putting it on here for the stem, the status command that we actually have in place now. So all this is ready. DWM's ready to be patched. I know this was a little bit of a short stream, but almost dinner time, and I know there's no way we can get DW. Well, maybe there is a way. Can we do it in 10 minutes? Maybe. Let's see. Let's see. What else we got? Was it status? Status. Oh, well, nah, of course that didn't work. Yeah. P kill. Status. So the idea here is, let's go over to DWM, and what I want to do with our config.h, I actually have an auto start baked into this thing, and I believe there's a status run in here somewhere. Yeah, right there. We want to get rid of that ugly eyesore anyways. So we're going to get rid of that. Now we're going to kill out. I'm curious to see what happens to the right side now. I think that should fix the little bit of artifacting we have. There won't be like a volume or a date anymore, but we're going to be replacing it with DWM blocks. Yeah. Is that auto launching somewhere else? Damn it. Is there like another auto start somewhere? Shoot. You know what? This is a good thing. Because it's double launch and synergy too. And I've been meaning to track this down. Where is that auto launch? Do we have like an X in it? Oh, weird. Okay, that's a... I don't think we need to run any of that. Maybe. X in RC is not that bad. Where would that auto start be? So... Oh, I didn't Oh. Thanks, guys. I'm such an idiot. Gotta recompile it. All right. Let's drop that. Relaunch. I really should change that, but you know, yeah, it's still launching. Where? So there's status, bash, f, GitHub, the bash command. And it's being launched a bunch. Look at all those statuses. So that's being pushed from someplace. Where would that be? It's not in config, right? I don't see that. So if we look at config, oh no. Look at config. Yeah, there's no bash, right? Yeah, no bash anywhere. So it's not here. Is there auto start? Wait, there's auto jump. No. Where would be the auto start? Let's go find auto start. Oh, there is an auto start folder under config. Huh. That's flame shot. Let's just remove all that. I don't want any auto start from here. All right, fine. Let's quit that. That might actually have been my secondary synergy that was starting because we had 2 icons up there. No, that's still... There's another auto start somewhere else. Huh. Yeah. Where in the world would I put this thing? There's obviously another spot where I'm running that script. All right. Let's go to DWM CD scripts. Autostart.sh. What if we just remove... Oh, actually, before we do any of this, let's do our commit to GitHub desktop before we change DWM anymore. Because we do have DWM StatusCMD patch is kind of what we've done for this one. It's the start of a good patch. So we're going to go ahead and push this. That our DWM is working pretty well. Well enough to where I feel confident of pushing it public. But let's start removing like auto start. What's dbus? I think that's just a pretty easy, yeah. Which I don't even think we need to do that. PS aux. Let's see if it's running dbus. Oh, crap. So we got dbus broker launch and that. I think that's fine. And if we look at that config H, maybe it launches auto start, maybe? Nah, I don't see that. But let's... Maybe I was pulling that sh file somewhere else. Let's kill it again. Well, I killed the entire... Ah, there it was. Okay. It was the auto start script that was doing it. Oh, yeah. That other statuses are previous runs. That's another good point. Because if we look, there's probably still there. Yeah. Good point. P-kill. Help. What was a P-kill? Let's go TLDR P-kill. I think there's a... If you want to kill all matching ones, kill all process with a match of their full command instead of just the process name. Force kill matching processes. I thought you could just do P-kill status. I thought that did kill all. Apparently not. And if you do a P-kill F status... Yeah, that worked. Okay. Interesting. So that's what was spinning up and causing the artifacting on the right side. So now with that done, that drops off. Now you still see on the right side here how it's pushed in this status bar. I think it's not used to the Systray patch. So I do think there was something we did on the Systray side of things on the modifications that will affect the blocks, because this DWM should be to the left side of the blocks, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Hey, Blue. We've just been doing some DWM today. So now the next thing is, now we have a black background, which is obviously not ideal. And if we look at our config.h, we are running Fey, and it's the home folder. I wonder, can we do something like home pictures like that? Let's just, we'll just do, actually we don't need a sudo. Now we can go sudo make install and then kill it. Yeah, okay. Still didn't work, but and is there a status still going? It's weird that I want to just hard code that in just to make sure. So we have the Fey, and if we go over here, let's just hard code it. I'm just not 100% that it's grabbing the variables properly from here. So we're just going to put the full pictures backgrounds directly into it. And if we go pictures, backgrounds, all of them are right here. Okay, good. So let's go back to DWM, make install, kill it. And now we should have backgrounds. Still messed up a little bit on that status bar though. Yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah, DWM's kind of crazy because if you can think it, you can do it. It's just, do you have the skill to do it? As we showed on a pretty sophisticated patch today, getting ready for DWMBlocks. But I still don't like that this is being pushed in. That tells me there's still a problem. Let's find let's just look at that one more time. I want to say there was a status bar one in when it was calling the function. I want to say it was pushed to the right, and I think those calculations needed to be to the left of it before it hit. Let's see. So if we go Systray spacing. Okay. There's a lot of Systray. Dang. Okay. We're going to be easier off just going into the diff file and then going directly to where that was. Which if we look at cool auto start. Okay, well, that's weird. Here we go. Actually, let's just go here. If we look, I can remember us doing the patch and it was directly right here, the status W. And we were looking at this. This modified something in DWMC that I think is the problem. Oh, yeah. See, the minus the get systray width, it's not doing that calculation properly. I think it's calling like int status W. Maybe it's an order of operations thing. Instead of doing minus here and then minus systray, no, it should do the same thing because it's all just minuses. X equals some W. I feel like get systray should be subtracted from here as well. So maybe this command for X would give us the proper status. Something like that, maybe? I don't know if that's valid or not, but I'm just thinking. Okay. Casper said get that solve for X. Okay, so I'm on the right path of my logic here. Okay. I feel like that would be what needs to happen. What about this else if? Does it need to be up here too? I don't think so. Yeah, okay. All right, let's leave it. Let's not change too much. That's just a simple change. Line 636. And it's just this artifacting right here. I just don't like it. I don't like that at all. So we're going to go make. D4, thanks for the tier 1, man. Sudo make install. Now, this is the true test. Ah, hell. So that wasn't it. It feels like that would be it. What did I miss? Click win title. Yeah, the indenting in here is kind of weird for sure. Specifically, like there's these single line items like else. Usually you'd have a bracket. It's just how DWM is coded. It's a little funky, I will say. Normally I would do a bracket, put it there, and then a closing bracket just for sanity, but you know, it's not how they did it. So I'm not gonna mess with it too much. Just mental note there. Shoot. Okay. Let me think this through. What could be the problem with our system? It's the system tray width. it's not picking it up and adding that padding. So we're getting this pushed over into the system tray. And where would that go? No. There's something there. There's something there. But what? All right, here's the drawbar. Maybe it's the drawbar. Drawbar function. Looking at it for text. All right, here's an idea. Let's ask here. Let's just say, grab that, and let's just ask AI. This isn't padding the sys tray and is pushing the status into under it. Let's see. Come on, AI, work for me. To ensure the status text does not get pushed under the system tray, go to the drawbar. Okay, so button press, obviously. This is fine. Still think that X should have the get sys tray in there. I think I'm going to leave that. But it's drawbar that's really doing it. And if we look at drawbar, which if we look at the diff file for the patch, the drawbar is right here. Let's just come right here. Let's find you. We're going to hunt it down. Oh, crap. No, that's not what I wanted to do. No. Over here. Okay, now we're in the drawbar. What I want to find here, here's how you can adjust the function to include padding for the sys tray. Resize. Okay. Yeah, mine doesn't look anything like the example they gave, which is hilarious. If we look, if show sys tray. Okay. STW get sys tray width. Oh, maybe. I think that we're really close though. There's something with the sys tray right here. Let's ask one more time, but just grab this drawbar function. And I think if we highlight it and let's just go new chat, I think we can do like an at and code. And I think we can just feed it this one function. At to show code. Maybe we just go, let's just try. What is wrong with my drawbar function that it is pushing things under the sys tray? Bearded builder, thanks for the raid, man. Whew. Yeah, we're working on DWM today. We're getting close to the end of it. And now we're just having this one issue where all these patches work great, except for pushing their status bar right under the sys tray. So that's kind of where we're at. We're like, dang it. So close. Okay. Sys-wide calculation. Drawing status bar. Calculating available widths in Windows tab. Common issues that the calculation for the remaining width does not correct amount for the system tray. If W, M, B, H, okay, minus X, jeez, is the total width of the monitor. The M-WW is the total width of the monitor. Now the TW would be this status text. And I think that was added over here with status W. Look at my code and just spit me out a solution, but it's very, very close. If we look at the diff, if we look at the drawbar, oh, this is going to be good. We're right there. It's just a simple fix. It's this line, the TW status W. I want to say that STW variable, we can just go and add it. Nah, see, it adds it right there. STW and then X. Well, damn it. I love DWM though. It's just, I don't know, something about it. Something about it I like. The draw map, it does MWW minus STW. So close. It's gonna drive me crazy here. And not sys tray, get sys tray width. STW should be declared. And values there. TW is just going to be the status W. And this one minus that for the draw map. Maybe it's just the drawing of the text, and then maybe I'm trying to fix something that doesn't need to be fixed. And I won't know until I actually install DWM blocks. Maybe. Wishful thinking, I think, is what that is. I don't think I'm right. Awesome is a fork of yeah, the Lua design of Awesome it's cool. I used Awesome for a while. It was actually one of my very first window managers that I used, and I loved this project by Papa El Gringo. That is amazing. What was it? I think I just called it Titus Awesome. Yeah, it was an old. I archived the project, but it was this old one. It was probably my favorite window manager. Starting off, it was really cool with a lot of the functionality of it and how it was set up. It was a great little material, and I used this for quite some time. I liked it, but I don't know. Something about DWM I like a little bit better because I can control the timing a little bit faster. But this was very, very cool. Very well done. The lead developer for the guy that really created a lot of these things, he ended up moving on and going to GNOME and creating it in a GNOME extension. And so there's that. I honestly think he should have just stayed on Awesome because, dude, it was some pretty cool work. Anywho. Yeah, I just feel like when it's drawing the text up here, I think that's what the big problem was I had. Yeah, the cursor AI is really neat, and I love how it kind of spills out and it helps you understand the code a lot better. Let's just ask. Let's see. We're going to ask, can you look at my drawbar function for issues with it hiding under Systray? Let's see. All right. No element is hidden under there. Calculating. Here's a simplified analysis. All right. Systray width calculations done by calling get systray width. Status text width and position. The status text is drawn from the right towards the left. Calculation is starting position must account for the Systray width if it is on the right side. Available width for tags and windows titles after accounting. Okay. This calculation must ensure the Systray's presence does not cause these elements to overlap. Given these points, the critical section in your drawbar function seems to be where you calculate the remaining width for drawing windows titles and possibly tags. It's this one right here, where it is right here. Look and BH. Okay. So all of these is where the magic happens. In this line, M/WW, total width of the monitor. TW is the width reserved for the status text. STW is the Systray width. X is the current horizontal offset after drawing tags. Possibly the layout. Okay. Calculation appears correct in ensuring that the width available for windows does not overlap with this. However, if elements are still being hidden under the Systray, consider checking the following. Correct calculation of STW. Ensure that get Systray width, which I haven't changed, so I know that's good. Order of drawing. Make sure the order in which the elements are drawn does not inadvertently draw over the Systray. It's not. Debugging. Temporarily adding debugging output. Print F. And calculation. Yeah, it's like review your patches. Huh. Well. Yeah. Okay, I'm coming. All right, guys. We're out of time. I think it's pretty good. We're going to just roll with this for now. I'm going to come back to this later tonight because it's driving me crazy. And we're just right there. There's just a little bit of fixing that needs to happen. And, oh man, driving me crazy. I'll see if I stream it or not. I don't know. I just know I'm going to fix it. So All right, y'all. Take it easy. See you all later. Thanks for hanging out with me on this nerdy DWM stream. Thursday stream, we will be tackling Windows Utility because I have to get back to that. We have to finish the refactor of the Windows Utility. I know a lot of people are waiting on a lot of that refactor to take place, and also fixing WinGet install. Those are the main primary actions, is minimizing the code and then also fixing WinGet installs when first running the program, which, you know, freaking Windows, man, they always mess it up. And, you know, we can fix it. So that's what we're going to do. And in the interim, before Thursday stream, I might jump back on one more time just to get that darn status bar, wherever it is up there. I'm going to get it. Anyway. All right. Peace all. Have a good one. All right. It's about, I don't know, about 8:30 or so at night. It's been a little bit later. And I wanted to take another fresh set of eyes, and I figured it out. I was like, all right, I'm not going to stream. But then I figured it out so fast. I was like, damn it. I got to stream it. So check this out. I literally got it figured out right as I was like, okay, gotta do it. So let's just launch Cursor. I asked AI, and when I was doing the last computations, or basically asking the last bit on AI, I was thinking about it and asking the wrong question. Asking the right question. Who knew? That makes all the difference. So instead, what I did on this time around was I was asking all these different questions about drawbar and Systray, and kind of understanding what could I have done differently here. And the long short of it is I basically fed it the patch file and said, hey, this does not account for the Systray patch. What's missing? And then it was like, oh, well, that's simple. You're just missing, you know, it gave me pretty much the answer. Not quite the answer, but it said, hey, you need to add or subtract the Systray width from DRM_text here and also here. Now, obviously, this is actually STW. It actually gets declared up here, and a little bit different. It looks a little different, but you get the idea. So that fixes my entire drawbar, and now I can actually do DWMBlocks. I wanted to fix this one little thing because it was driving me nuts. I was like, okay, absolutely have to do this based on the stream earlier today. That's the fix for that. Now we can take the next step, which is DWMBlocks. But first, I'm going to check in with chat, because it's been a little bit, and I don't know if anybody watches me this late. Tails, how's it going, man? Yeah, it's been a little bit since I've actually I streamed all of the Ultimate System, and now I'm doing kind of like certain projects, which is kind of cool. One thing I am doing with these streams now is the times are going to get a little wonky. I'm not going to be like, I will stream at 9 to 5, Monday through Friday kind of thing. I'm not treating it like a job or anything like that, because it just doesn't work for me. So what I've started doing is I wait until I have a project for like a video or something that I'm working on. And then I'm like, all right, that's going to be all my streams, and I'm going to get that thing done and then move on to the next thing. And then all those streams get bundled up into one thing on like Titus Tech Talk. And then people can see the entire process for that project. And then if they don't want to watch a 2-hour long live stream going over all the ins and outs and weird shenanigans I dealt with, they could just watch like a 10-minute video on the main channel. So that's kind of like my thought process behind like streams going forward, because I always have stuff that I need to do, and certain videos I need to make, and other things I'm exploring, and just sometimes I don't stream it. And it's because it's weird times, and it's only for like an hour or something, and I'm like, I can only do an hour now. So I'm just gonna like, screw it, I'll stream it and then record it, and that's kind of be a little bit more sporadic. I don't know if that'll work, but we're gonna try it out. Yeah, thanks for the welcome back, all. It's good to be back. I always love it. I love chatting with everybody over here. Everyone's just so nice, and it's a very pleasant experience, and I love it. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of people just see the end result like on a YouTube video of, you know, it's 10 minutes long, it's highly edited, and it's just like, here you go, it just works. and they don't see maybe 2 or 3 hours, or in my case, like when it comes to DWM, this is going to be like, I don't know, 200 hours or something silly in the creation of this project. But it'll be neat to have like an entire playlist of the creation of it. I think that'd be just awesome to look back on. And just one, I love looking back like 6 months or a year later and go, look at this noob. Ah. So I love that. And just kind of learning and working through like complex things like this is just so much fun. Because, you know, it's the first time ever kind of messing around with a lot of this stuff. It's just a blast. And DWM is just, as I tinker with it and I customize it more, man, it just doesn't get any better. And I've been using Cursor a bunch with this GPT-4 integration. Dude, I am addicted. Like, I just want to code anything and just ask it questions. I'm like, hey, like, my icons are not all the same size in Systray patch. How do I fix it? So this kind of just spits it out. It's like, hey, check out the upgrade Systray icon GOM function in your DWM file, and then change it to a standard size. So if you want 16 by 16 pixels, do that. Okay, let's try and do that. I don't know. I think this is so cool. I'm addicted. I'm like, I just want to code stuff that I have no idea how to code, and then see how far these prompts can take me. It can take you a ridiculously long, I've done just crazy shit that I'd like, no way did I ever could have programmed that. And it just, it points me in the right direction. Most times the code's a little bit wrong, but it usually points me in the right direction, which is so cool. Oh man, I'm just it just is exciting. That's all. Sorry, just thinking. Heard about the vulnerability with Apex Legends. Man, you know, when it comes to security stuff, I have always, you know, it's a difficult field, and it's not. I've worked with a lot of people in that field, but I've always been on the infrastructure side of things. So if I do my job properly, it should make their job a lot easier. From my basic understanding of it and some of the footage I looked at for that Apex Legends thing, guys, they look like just hackers to me. They look like they were using cheats. And one of them got caught, so the friend tried to cover up the other one. I'm just not buying that was compromised from Apex's executable, and I'm not buying that it was from an anti-cheat, like easy anti-cheat getting hacked. I think they just straight up been hacking and they got caught red-handed. That's my knee-jerk reaction. Love it, hate it. A lot of people will be like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Totally. From just my rudimentary caveman brain directly out into the universe, that's my thoughts. I think they're just using hack tools and they got busted, and one of them tried to cover up for the other. That's my thought. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a server side vulnerability. It's possible, but man, 9 times out of 10, it's on the client side. It just is. And the only way I have any kind of knowledge of this stuff is I'm a huge cheater. I love hacking games. Specifically, I like hacking MMO games. And if we want to get even more specific, we can go back and look at my EverQuest days where, you know, doing some injection and, you know, warping and teleporting. Probably the worst, most egregious hack I ever did was setting a weapon delay to like 0.001 and then warping into a raid target and then hitting it a whole bunch before it had a time to attack. I'd warp back and then warp again and do like a ghost kill of it, meaning it would never be able to get one round in because of the weapon delay being so minimal, and I could warp in, kill, come back. And guys, that was not server side. that was me just changing just injecting something in, and it was them not like properly preventing it back then. They've definitely prevented it since since it kind of went rampant back in the the late 2000s. But I digress. It's definitely doable, and I'm not saying it's not, but these days I would hope that they do a little bit more due diligence. I trust like Pirate Software's take way more than mine, because that guy, genius, and he was specifically in the security field, so his take would probably be much more valid than mine. But honestly, nobody's gonna really know, and even if it is like an easy anti-cheat, or let's say it's like a vulnerability specifically with Apex, we're not gonna know for a bit, and if we ever do know, because that's gonna be covered up pretty quick. I'm just saying, if I was the, let's say, project manager on that specific thing, I would be like, no, we cannot tell the public that's what happened. We need to come up with a different story. So either way, these players are going to get blamed. That's my take. Honestly, I do think they are to blame, and their systems probably were compromised, and that's how this happened. But even if it is, let's say, the one everyone's reaching for and going, that's the company, it's easy anti-cheat. Even if that were the case, that will get patched very, very quickly, and we will never know that was the case. Oh yeah. Pirate Software. He's on YouTube. He's the biggest streamer over here on the software development range. He's the man. He's made things go crazy. Made people think, hey, you can actually be a developer streamer, which is weird, and actually make some money. That's wild. So, dude, hats off to Thor, pioneer. Anyways, let's get back to here. Sorry for the tangent, but oh man, that guy. All right, let's find this function. Where are you at? All right, here is update icon. So we have apply size hints. That's an interesting function it's calling here for size hints. I feel like the size hints aren't. This function is calling apply size hints. And this is sending some of the file to GPT to actually do some of it. It's a kind of a shock that it isn't broken. However, Jalopy, I think I'm going to be doing a little bit more on the late night streams or later in the day streams sometimes. It feels like my brain gets more powerful as it gets later, which is weird. Doesn't make any sense. You should tire as you get closer to bedtime, but man, every time I stream and it's late, it's just like I figure shit out. Like the whole thing up here, I was only messing around with this for like 5 minutes when I started. I was like, oh crap, I already figured it out. All right, we're ready for DWMBlocks. And then I was like, okay, well, I guess we'll do that. So anyways, let's see the contents of this. Apply size hints. Yeah, I'm definitely physically active during the day. Yeah, this is really cool. Okay, so I think instead of applying size hints, let's just say, let's give it context. Let's just give it this entire thing. Can we go like Control D or Alt D, I think it is? No, Alt D gives a new chat. Context, Alt Enter. Okay, so let's say we have this, and if we go Alt Enter, still figuring out how to use this damn program. I mean, the little bit I figured out of it, it's very, very powerful. Rewrite, update, Systray, icon, geom. That's just terrible. It's just terrible. Okay. Update, rewrite function to resize all icons to 16 by 16. It feels like a 16 by 16 up there. Okay, we got IWH and then just bam, and do the I, W, and then the H like that. Apply size hints. Bam. False. So if we, I feel like I just want to standardize all of them. And that's why I'm like, I want to remove all this logic and do that. Simplicity is the best because, I mean, really, do you need multiple different sized icons in your Systray? I think you just want them all the same. That's what I would do. So that's what we're going to do. Well, it's on Git. That's the one thing I love about GitHub is, like, I could screw this up all day long, and then I'd just be like, nah, just drop those changes or discard those changes, and then it just reverts everything back that I've done. So it's kind of cool in that respect. Let's close this out. All right. Well, wait. Do we have... Oh, yeah, we're good. All right. We're going to close that. Come back over to here. And... I think the easiest thing to do here would be do the build, make it, sudo make install. All right, power it down. Bloop. Come back. Well, that didn't work. Dang. Yeah, okay. Well, let's go. Yeah, that didn't work. Yeah, that didn't work. Oh, that looks way different. Okay. Client I int win w. Okay. Sure. Blindly copy paste this. Pretend like I got it. I just yeah. That looks interesting. And this is the fun thing you can do with it. Check the let's just take this. Check the blank function for errors. Sometimes what you can do is feed it its same code and go, hey, that didn't look quite right. Can you check it for errors? And be like, oh, there's an error in here. And be like, I see what you got. Function for reference, okay. And break down the function for me. Client I parameter sets width and height to 16 pixels. Then it calls xmove resize window to apply these dimensions, effectively resizing the icon. Oh, okay. Ensure the Systray icons support being resized. Some applications might not adhere to the size requested from the window manager. All right, good to know. Function not called. Verify the update is function being called correctly within your DWM setup. I'm sure it is, but we can go ahead and check that. And issues with the resizing could stem from communications with X. Nah, that's not it. Incorrect icon window. Ensure that the window handle I/win is correct and refers to the actual icon window that needs resizing. Ooh, I almost want to look here at the GitHub desktop. If we look at C, here is the change. Now before it was setting the icon height to be H and setting the icon if W equals H, then go ahead and set that. Then it would set this, apply size hints, and if it was above the dimensions, it should change those dimensions. But that's the thing I don't get is why is it calling that image? This xmove resize window. It's just something like that. Thanks, Lord, for the Prime. Hey, Monk. I can finally catch a stream again. Yeah, I've been kind of all over the place. Thursday, we're going to be doing Windows utility. I'm just getting a little bit in before my day job tomorrow. I'm like, okay. The thing I'm not getting here is this I/win just doesn't, that just does not seem like that would be correct. Just seems very off. We can try it, but I just does not feel right to me. All right. Yeah, Monk, you're going to see my noob C programming skills, which basically, like, break down my skills in C is one, I did C++ back in the 90s, which I remember very little of. And two, basically just plugging it into Cursor's AI, which is kind of amazing. And then going, does that even look right? Would that even work? And then I try it out and I'm like, oh no, that didn't work. But I could change this and that will work. And then that's kind of what I've been jamming through. It's been fun. Hey, CM Griffing, man. Thanks for the raid. Raid time. Reverse engineering, anything with C? Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm not a C developer at all. So this is just kind of me wanting to mess around and kind of build my own window manager. Just have fun with it. Let's make this sudo make install. And we're going to kill everything. Relaunch. C student. Okay. Like I said, I did C back in the 90s, like late 90s. And hey, that worked. Not not exactly what I was looking for, but it worked. Probably need to go a little bit bigger on that icon size. That was what I needed. I didn't think that would work, but hey. Let's change that around. Oh, the crates. My brain's not working. Whoosh. I'm a C student, not a C developer. It makes sense if you read it out loud, or you have a reading comprehension above 2nd grade level, which apparently I do not right now. Oh man, that's funny. Okay, let's go 24. Can we center it? I wonder if we could center it. Let's just go 24 instead of 16. And can we center the icons in Systray so they aren't at the top of the screen? All right, let's see what it says. To center this, blah, 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 assuming the bar height of 1 is globally accessible and desired icon height is 16 as per your previous request. I've changed that request. You can calculate the Y coordinate so the icons center vertically within the bar. Here's how you can do that. All right, cool. Well, that looks good. Let's do that. Seems, well, actually, I don't even think we really need to change anything with that. It's just adding one line right there. Seems too easy. I was actually on KDE Plasma for a little bit, and then it just kind of, the new Plasma 6, man, it just hated me. I don't know what it is, but man, it was just like not having anything I was tossing at it. All right, we'll increase those a little bit. We'll center it vertically. That actually did change a little bit. If we look, the I/Y, they changed this to Y. Huh. The thing I have a question is, why is it int Y and not I//Y? That's something I don't understand. We were setting this variable, use the local variable int Y instead of directly modifying IY in the update. Oh, okay. It's a temporary calculation. Separation of concerns is a cautious and clean approach. It does the job without interfering with the broader state of the application, introducing bugs that could arise by altering the client object unnecessarily. All right, sounds good to me. Let's change this then. And I think really what it is just going Y. Seems interesting. Copilot, what are you thinking here? Copilot's on drugs, man. So I got multiple AI going on. I got Chat GPT right here, and then I got Copilot kind of giving me suggestions as I go to. Man. Okay. I see what it's doing. It wants to calculate X to center the icon horizontally too. Actually, that's not a bad idea. BH does not do it. That feels wrong. Yeah, where is BH? Maybe. So before we add any more AI garbage, I want to show chat this. So this was the old method. Man, I wish I could, can we increase the icon size? Well, whatever. I don't know if y'all can read that or not, but this is the old methodology. So if any C programs are in the house, take a look. Squint really hard on the screen. You might be able to pick it up. Maybe not. But I don't know. It feels like BH is definitely defined elsewhere. That must be like the border height, I imagine. Yeah. Yeah, so BH is global, because I do not see a definition anywhere. So that was the one thing that got thrown in, and I wanted to show people the old code. And one thing I love about doing like DWM customizations is after I figure something out, I commit it. And then I'm like, okay, push that out. And then I know I can always go back to that commit. We can always cherry pick it too. And oh man, it just makes messing around, and it just, I can do anything. I'm like, okay, there we go. Love it. Okay, I think this is good. I don't think I really want to change anything else. Let's just roll with this modification. I feel like that's a pretty solid modification. We're just increasing the icon size just a bit, just in the right, top right, and then getting that more centered. So that should get us there. Let's go into DWM. We're just going to make it and install. With that done, we just kill it. And yeah, suckless projects are so much fun. Now, that didn't work for shit. I think they messed up. I was thinking that Y system just didn't feel right to me. The second thing is the icon sizes ever so slightly are now off. I want to say those icon sizes are like a 20 instead of a 24. So the devil's in the details. Yeah. So let's just be like, yeah, that didn't center it vertically. If AI's ever come to they'll be like, you need to kill that Titus guy. He was super sarcastic and very dry to me constantly. Ensure BH is correct. Firstly, confirm the BH variable, which represents bar height. Check icon height and bar padding. Okay. Review global. Debugging output. Yeah, I think you're just wrong. I think he's just wrong in this. All right, let's go. 20 is the actual size of those icons. Feels like 20 is pretty much what a lot of the icons have. So Flame Shot, for whatever reason, is just a lot bigger. So that didn't work. We got Y, BH minus H. H equals out. Yeah, no, there's no hot reload because it's a binary. So everything in DWM is just run from the DWM binary. You don't need anything else. There's no config file. There's nothing. So you can just grab and just yoink the DWM binary, toss it on any Linux system, and just run it. And that thing will fire up every single configuration I've made here. Everything's baked in. The downside is there's no hot reload. Yeah, the source code is the config file. But that's the beauty of it too. Like hot reloads and configs, those can go awry. Man, I am loving Cursor. Cursor is just so much fun. I'm just tossing everything and just enjoying. I don't know. Let's see. Can I add padding at the top of Systray? You can modify the Y coordinate when positioning Systray icons. All right. Define the padding. For example, let's say 5 pixels of padding. Top padding. Int Y. It really likes that int Y. Okay. Let's take this. I just want to try it just to see what happens. I don't think it's grabbing the proper BH variable. So what I'm going to do, actually not there. Order of operations, Chris. We're going to need a little bit more than that. Let's go 5. All right. I want to just kind of do this to test it. I mean, honestly, that's should actually be pretty close to center, even with a 5 padding. All right. Florp and Monk, thanks for the prime, guys. Yeah, this is just really, really neat. So instead of, a lot of people are going back and forth with like Chat GPT, and I'm like, no. You need to get some GPT-4 baked into this. And Cursor does a really good job. I imagine it's only a matter of time. There might be something for VS Code, but basically Cursor just forked VS Code and then added this functionality to it. I do pay $20 a month for unlimited requests through here. So sometimes I open up Cursor and I'm just asking it really weird questions. If we look at my previous chats, that might get interesting. but let's not do that. Let's see if this actually adds some padding to the top here and fixes this. Let's go to DWM, make it, and install it, and kill it. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I wonder what happens in like a year. It's just things are moving so quick. Yeah, that's not working. That padding is not working at all. Look at that. It did fix the size of those icons pretty much to what they should be. That is unfortunate. So let's tell Cursor and say, this isn't working. Should we use some vulgar language? Maybe it'll understand us better. All right. Listen here, computer. That does not work. Setting the Y value does not change the Y location of the icons. What else should we say behind here? Can we use the I or what is it? Y to move the icons or some other method? Damn right you need to apologize. Sending me off on these wild goose chases. Does that work? Okay. Maybe. Okay, I think that looks better to me. So I think what we're going to do is we're not going to actually do it like that, but we're going to just remove this top padding altogether. I'll leave the parentheses. That's not hurting anybody. But then we're going to take this one and we're going to go exactly how I thought it should be, because that makes the most sense in my brain and it looks very uniform. To me, that should center it vertically. Yeah, I didn't add top padding. I purposely excluded top padding from this, so I think that'll be fine. Try Davin. I need to. That'll be next on my list. Okay. Could be other parts that are interfering with that. All right, let's test. Fat fingered that one. All right. One more time with feeling. Yeah, I'm already back on DWM, man. I just can't get away from it. Yep, that didn't work either. Darn it. Alrighty. Well, when this all else fails, what I usually do is dump this and let's go with a new chat. Let's just say, okay, this chat's getting a little bit long in the tooth. Erase it. And what I'm going to grab now is find the patch, the Systray patch. This is that patch. So what I'm going to feed this DWM Systray, I'm going to feed the entire file to GPT, and then, but just the diff, just the patch file, because it could only absorb, I think, like a couple hundred lines of code at a time. Do I align the tray icons vertically using this DWM patch? So we're going to ask it a different way and see what it says. So it's still pointing us to the correct or the same function, the update sys icon, adjust systray update logic. Oh, it doesn't have a vertical layout in update systray. This includes changing the width and height of the systray and calculated being on the, okay. May need adjustments to handle systray's new dimension. Okay. So here is the icon one. And this just adjusts for vertical. RPG, thanks for the tier 1, man. Oh, do you not? Can you not link it, Monk? Let me just give you VIP. I thought you could do that. There you go. Monk, you should be able to link whatever you got with VIP. It should bypass it. Or at least hopefully. Hopefully it does. Let me just ask. What changes should be made to update Systray? Kind of curious what its thought process for update Systray. Conceptual guide. Changes might need for the update Systray function. This example assumes you want to place the Systray vertically at the right end of the bar or another location based on your preference. Stacking icons top to down. Oh, weird. Okay, no, that's not really what I wanted. But I am curious to look at this value, the I to 1, that pointer, I guess. Let's see. So let's go into that function. Icon Systray, or update Systray, my bad. Let's find that function. Here we are. So the big thing I want to look at is that does it even have a Y value? I don't even think it's setting the Y value. And Systray spacing 1. I think modifying Systray, only want to modify Systray, actually update Systray function to center the icons vertically. So looking at this, what are we looking? We got a bunch of unsigned int. We got top of bar for Y. So Y is not getting signed here. SW is actually BH. That is interesting. H is equals 0. Icon spacing equals Systray spacing. Systray width is the same as bar height. Why would you do that? Why would you change that? That's crazy. No, it's not the same as the bar height. No, you don't want to do that. Okay, so that's it on drugs. But I think we can use this right here, the top of bar, and setting that Y value. Let's see if we can't find. All right, add each icon's height and spacing. Total height of the icons. Resized. Yeah. Redo calculations based on all icons being 20 pixels. I really like some of those projects when it comes to Nobara, Garuda. All those are really neat. One thing I'm actually looking at right now is Bazite, I think it is. It's a Steam OS. They're basically just taking, like, you know how the Steam Deck has that really cool interface and it's really just intuitive for any user. I love that idea, but they're bringing it to the computer. Because Steam, I don't know, is ever going to do it. They probably don't want to deal with the average rando that hasn't spent money and bought a product from them, like, other than the software games. So I don't know, man. I love those projects. I love a lot of the hobbyist projects. Like this right here is a hobbyist project. Here's how you can update this system. Okay. This should be a little bit more simplistic in the formula. Start Y. Position each icon. This looks so weird. Select change properties. X move resize window. It's just so far from the, well, it's not that far from the original code. It's just the I for Systray icons. I think honestly, this right here is always setting it to 0. This hard-coded 0 is always going to push it at the very top of the space. So my thought here is when we're moving these icons around, we should be able to specify the middle, just do a simple calculation. I think they're making it a little bit convoluted with a lot of this stuff, but I don't see an int y. So what I think what we'll do is just do like a int y up here, because I just have no faith in it being able to do that. So I think what we'll do is like an int y, and we'll grab the calculation for y right here and just say bh. We probably didn't need to grab the outer parentheses, but you know, so such is life. Now h is not specified. Total, initialize the total height of icons. Well, these icons are actually going to be 20, so we don't actually need to specify h, because we already know what h is. All right, with that done, y should be the value for being in the center. So now it's just simply passing y value down here on the window resize. So it says 1, but I think we can just go y, unsigned int. Now, I feel like that should be an I/y, but I don't know. Yeah. I'm just going to do what I think feels right. That right there looks a bit more sane. Let's do that. Yes?
Whatever these are.
Oh, sweet. They're little filters. Thank you, love. I'll be in a minute. All right. I'm just going to get that, and let's build this. I think it's going to work. 12 hours later. Dude, I'd be hurting at work tomorrow. That's for sure. Oh, could you imagine? I've done all-nighters before. Uh-oh. In function, unused variable y. That actually should be y, like that. Actually, you know what? No. I'm going to leave it. But it does give me an idea. The next line should be that. And then we do that. That feels better. Now, let's do a make. Yeah. It's like, wait, we're not even using the variable? There we go. All right, in a minute, let's see if I lied to my wife or not. Better not have. She'd get angry. Nobody likes... Ah! Yes! That's what I'm talking about. Centered. Dead center. Ah. Well. Let's go. Let's go. Done. It doesn't get any better than that. I need to do more, even if it's only for an hour. You're going to see some streams that I just pop on and then I get shit done. Like that, if I did it in the morning, this would have been a 5-hour stream and I'd be further back than when I started. And instead, 1 hour at 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Oh, dude, I fixed all the problems. Like I struggled with that stupid spacing with the Systray, not the actual vertical alignment. I was just like, oh, I can't. I literally struggled with it for like an hour and a half. Came in, did it in 5 minutes. And then I was like, hey, the icon sizes aren't right. I need to fix that and like specify those. Took it like maybe 15 minutes, 30 minutes. I forget. And then I was like, hey, we need to do a vertical alignment. Another 30 minutes. Done and done. Before I actually jump off though, we absolutely have to do GitHub Desktop. That is what we're doing. Let's see. What do we do? Okay. Fix icon size to 20 and center vertically. Actually, let's just go fix Systray icons. 20 pixel size, centered vertically. Done. Commit, push them changes. Oh, dude. Awesome sauce. Okay, well, I lied when I started this stream that I'd do DWMBlocks. It just wasn't with me tonight. Not enough time. So thank you guys for joining me tonight for this quick stream. You might see me tomorrow night. You're definitely going to see me Thursday, though. Thursday, we absolutely have to do some Windows utility work. Now I'm thinking, man, I should just move all the live streams to late at night. This just went so well. Anyhow, love y'all. Have a great one. And, oh, wait, let's raid somebody. I never raid anybody. I bet we have somebody on. CM Griffin raided me. We need to raid other people. Twitch. Pay it forward, right? Let's see. Do we have anybody? Let's, oh my gosh. Twitch late at night. I don't know. This might be a little bit of a dice roll. Do we have anything in the science realm? I don't know who that is. Let's see. Science and technology. All right. I don't know any of these people because they're usually Astro Canuck. Sounds cool. All right. Let's raid him. Sure. Astro Canuck. He's talking about the solar eclipse, it looks like. You guys will have to let me know how that goes. Just tell him I had didn't want to get Wi-Fi aggro, so I'm going inside. All right, y'all. Peace.